Because if somebody else sees the club at being of a certain value, then obviously those people are buying the club because they see that the club in the future will be worth it even more. From what I understand, the Glazers have already, well, even if I understand it correctly, I don't have the details. The Glazers didn't really pay anything at all when they bought the club. They leveraged the club. Since then, they have been paying dividends to themselves. I just recently saw that the dividends so far have been about 2 billion. So they are already well in the black there. So if you have a club that is valued at 5 billion, why do you want to sell? Why not keep the club and hold on to it and wait until it's worth maybe 10 billion in a few years down the road? If in the meantime you can collect dividends as they are doing, and that's why I think that they might well come to the conclusion that they will not sell. I don't know either one, so I can't say anything with certainty. But from what I have read about them, it seems to me that both are genuine football lovers, and also I think both of them love the club. So from that perspective, I would say that they would certainly be better owners than the current owners. So yeah, I think there is every possibility that they would treat the club and the fans in a way that would be much better than what is the case right now. Yes, yes, I definitely would like that. And look, I mean, Manchester United it's more than a club; it's an institution. That is known all over the world. I mean, it's I've lived in Asia for a long time, and Manchester United is as famous as Big Ben out in Asia. So it's an institution that has been there long before any of the current investors were born, and it's going to be there long after we all have died. So I think it's more of a the privilege of being a caretaker of an institution that you become if you become an owner of a club like Manchester United. So I think whatever happens, it needs to be something that is beneficial to the club and its fans. And like I said, I think both these bidders have a genuine interest to improve the club and obviously are also willing to put in a lot of money. One thing perhaps that I can add to all of this is that there seems to be some kind of, in my view, misconception that in order to buy a club, you have to be a multi-billionaire yourself. Obviously, you have to have some money yourself, but as with any asset that you buy, you put together consortiums and you have various investors pooling up. So it's not like the only ones who can play are those who have a minimum of 20 billion themselves. That's not how it works. I didn't like the process the way it was run. I think to be honest, I don't think it was run in a very professional manner. And I think that probably reflects the fact that the Glazer family has 6 siblings. And I don't think that they all have the same view on what they want to do. So it was a bit of back and forth. What I would normally have expected is that if you have a deadline for bids and you get serious bidders, as they had at least 3 that we know from public, Sheikh Yazim, Jim Ratcliffe, and myself, then you sit down and negotiate with those bidders. And you say, look, I think the club is worth X. And the buyers say, well, we think it's worth Y. And you discuss and you come to a conclusion. What instead happened here was that there was, again a new round and again a new round, kind of starting from scratch. That was one reason. But the main reason why we then finally withdrew was that, frankly, financial. I felt, and my consortium felt, that the price simply went up too high. I don't think that, it's a business that has to be profitable at the end of the day. And I think with the price tag that the Glazers put on the club, I think it is very tough to make it profitable. Very tough. I don't think they have made a decision not to sell, because then this would be really ridiculous to continue this process if they have already decided not to sell. But I think they don't really know themselves what is the best decision. But what I think that is happening right now is if they are considering selling, then why would they spend a lot of money on new players if they are going to sell the club anyway? And the new ones can't spend money yet because they're not owners. So we are indeed in a dangerous situation right now with although the season has just ended, the next one is starting in a couple of months. There is not much time to build a squad for next year. So I absolutely think that it already has had a negative effect, and that negative effect will accumulate and become worse if the decision is not made very quickly on who the new owner is. And if there is no decision, then a decision, we are not going to sell, we're not continue. And Manchester United has one of the biggest, maybe the biggest fan base in the world. So the fan base was something that, in particular, we felt was very interesting. The other part is, of course, the club in itself. I mean, it's a club that I've been following since I was 11 years old. I'm not investing because I'm a fan, but it helps when you like the club as well. And last but not least, the UK as a market is very interesting because of the substantial money that is coming from media. So those would have been the main reasons. The plan was from the beginning that my consortium would buy the club, pay everything, and then we would, once we own the club, we would set up a company where the fans could invest up to half. And the background of this is simply that, you know, a club is the same as its fans, in my view. Without the fans, there is nothing. And the fans need to be heard. Of course, in detailed decisions such as who's going to play and who should we sell or who should we buy. No, that's the job of the manager. I don't think even the owner should get involved too much in that. I think it's the manager's job. But on major strategic decisions, such as what do we need to do with the stadium? Should we spend money on stadium upgrades, or rather on training facilities, or rather on buying players and so forth? So those are the kind of things. And then last but not least, the fans would also then be owners, and as owners, hopefully also get a return on their investment. We like big clubs because of the big global fan base, because we see massive opportunities in the monetization there. So Inter Milan certainly is a big club with a big global fan base. The current owners have in public said that they are not planning to sell. So we of course respect that. I think, by the way, the current owners have done a fantastic job in getting Inter to the Champions League final. I mean, the president is no more than 33 years old. He became president when he was 26. Coming from China into Italy to run a club like Inter cannot have easy. So he has my deepest respect. And if he says they don't want to sell, then that's it. But if they change their minds, yes, we are certainly interested. The prices of clubs in continental Europe tend to be a lot lower than in the UK right now. So I think that you have more upside potential, but definitely there are still clubs in the UK that are of interest to us, and we have been contacted by a number of clubs, and we are looking at all of them seriously, and with where we see a big potential there, we will move forward.